Hello and assalamu alaikum. My name is Atan Iqbal. I welcome all of you. And in this video, we are going to talk about an experiment from the physiology lab, which is to determine the tidal volume by the spirometer. So before we talk about an experiment, first we discuss what is the lung volume and the lung capacities. So all of you know the function of the lungs. The function of the lungs is to bring the oxygen inside the body and take out the carbon dioxide from the body. And how this happens because of the inspiration and the expiration of the lung. And you know that in the inspiration, the oxygens enter into the body, and in the expiration the carbon dioxide goes out from the body. So in the inspiration, a certain volume of the air enters into the body, and in the expiration a certain volume of the air exit from the body. Now that volume of the air which enters into the lung during the inspiration and the volume of the air that goes out from the lung during the expiration, that is known as the lung volumes. And you know the lung volumes are also known as the respiratory volumes. So the lung volumes are the volume of the air or the gas in the lungs at any given time during the respiratory cycle. And however, if you take two or more lung volumes and you add them together, you get the capacities, that is known as the lung capacities. So basically lung capacities are the volume of the lungs that are add up together, and the total lung capacity of the adult human male is about 6 liters of air. And lung volumes are an integral part of the pulmonary function test. As you know that in the normal lungs there is a certain volume of the air that goes in and out from the body. So if there is a disease which affect the lungs, you know that if a disease which affect the lungs, so that will affect the function of the lungs. And if it affects the function of the lung, then definitely the volume of the air which goes in and out will also be affected. So in the diseased lungs the volume of the air will be also decreased, so that helps to diagnose the pulmonary function test. So hopefully all of you have two lungs, and in the left we have the volumes, the lung volumes, and in the right we have the lung capacities. So we will look one by one at these terms. So in the lung volumes we have the inspiratory reserve volumes, the tidal volume, expiratory reserve volume, and the residual volume. And this is the graph, and this upward trend is the inspiration which we inspire the air, and this downward trend is the expiration in which we exhale out the air from the lungs. So the what is tidal volume? So the tidal volume is the volume of the air that is being inspired and expired during the normal breathing. So what is normal breathing? Normal breathing means the breathing which we do in the resting phase. So for example, while you are listening my lecture, so this is your normal breathing. If you are sitting comfortably, then that is your normal breathing. And during that phase, during your normal resting phase, the volume of the air which you inspired and expired is the tidal volume, which is zero point 0.5 liter or 500 ml. So the 500 ml air you can inspired, and the 500 ml of the air you can expire during the exhalation. Now there is a volume of the air which always remains in our lung. No matter whatever you do with the lungs, that volume of the air cannot be removed out from your lungs. So that volume of the air which remains inside the lung is known as the residual volume. So this is the residual volume, which is 1.5 liter or 1500 ml. Now if I say to you that after your normal breathing, inspire the air as much as you can. So this is the maximum inspiration, the upper trend is the inspiration. So this is the maximum inspiration which you can do after normal breathing. The maximum inspiration which you can do after the normal breathing or after the tidal volume is known as the inspiratory reserve volume. And why you are calling it inspiratory reserve volume? Because during the normal breathing you do not inspire the maximum air that much. So that volume of the air is being reserved while you do some heavy work, while you do some exercise, or while the dog is chasing you. So that inspiration, that much inspiration is being reserved. So that is known as the inspiratory reserve volume. Now, another thing which I say to you that after the normal breathing, exhale out the air as much as you can from your lungs. So, after the maximum expiration which you can done after the normal breathing or after the tidal volume, that maximum expiration is known as the expiratory reserve volume. And why you are calling it expiratory reserve volume? Because during the normal breathing you do not expire that amount of air. So that amount of air is being reserved while you do some heavy exercise or while the dog is chasing you or while you are running. So therefore this is the expiratory reserve volume, which is approximately 1.5 liter, and the inspiratory reserve volume is 2.5 liter. So the inspiratory reserve volume is the maximum inspiration which you can do after the normal breathing, which is being reserved while you do some heavy exercise, and the expiratory reserve volume is the maximum expiration which you can do after the normal breathing, which is being also being reserved while you do some heavy exercise. So therefore you call expiratory reserve volume and inspiratory reserve volume are the reserve volumes. So I have told you about the lung capacities, and you know that if you add up two or more lung volumes, you get the lung capacities. And in the lung capacities, we have the total lung capacity, vital capacity, functional residual capacity, and the inspiratory capacity. Now, these four volumes, if you add up these four volumes together, these 1.5, 1.5, 0.5, and 2.5 liter, if you add up these four lung volumes, then after adding all these four volumes, you will get the total lung capacity. So the total lung capacity is the sum up of all these four volumes of the lung. So that will give you the total lung capacity, which is 6 liter of your lungs. Now, one volume which is known as the residual volume, you know that the residual volume is the volume of the air which always remains inside the lung. No matter whatever you do with the lungs, this volume of the air cannot be go outside from your lungs. So this remain inside the lungs all the time. So this residual volume cannot be utilized by you during the breathing. So, what is vital capacity? The vital capacity is the sum up of these three volumes except the residual volume. Because these three volumes, inspiratory reserve volume, tidal volume, and expiratory reserve volume, they are being utilized by you during the breathing. So, these three volumes are being vital for you, whereas the residual volume is not being vital, or this volume is not being utilized by you during the breathing, but these three volumes are being utilized by you during the breathing. So therefore adding up or summing up of these three volumes will give you the vital capacity. And why this is known as the vital capacity? Because these three volumes are being vital for you, these three are being utilized by you during the breathing. So this is the difference between the total lung capacity and the vital capacity. In the total lung capacity, we have the residual volume, but in the vital capacity, we do not count the residual volume because the residual volume is being not utilized by you during the breathing. The same is true for the functional residual capacity. Now in the functional residual capacity is the sum up of the residual volume and the expiratory reserve volume. And why you are calling it functional residual capacity? Because In the functional residual capacity, you have the expiratory reserve volume and the residual volume, but the expiratory reserve volume is being utilized by you, so this is being functional for you. So therefore, you call it the functional residual capacity. And the inspiratory capacity is the sum up of the inspiratory reserve volume and the tidal volume. Right, so these are the capacities, these are the lung capacities of your lungs, and you get the lung capacities of the lungs by the sum up of or the addition of these lung volumes. So the tidal volume, it is the amount of the air that can be inhaled or exhaled during the one respiratory cycle, and the tidal volume is approximately 300 to 500 ml. Inspiratory reserve volume is the amount of the air that can be forcibly inhaled after the normal tidal volume, and the normal tidal volume range from 1900 to 3300 ml. Expiratory reserve volume is the volume of the air that can be exhaled forcibly after the exhalation of the normal tidal volume, which is approximately 700 to 1200 ml. And residual volume is the volume of the air remaining in the lungs after the maximum exhalation, which is approximately 1200. So these are the lung capacities, and in the lung capacities we have the inspiratory capacity, and inspiratory capacity is the maximum volume of the air that can be inhaled following a resting state. Now, if I talk you about the resting state of the lungs, that is something different. The resting state of the lung is being defined a state in which your lungs are being not breathing. So, when you resume the breathing after the resting state, first you will breathe the tidal volume, and then you will do the maximum inhalation, which is the inspiratory reserve volume. So after the resting state, the sum up of the tidal volume and the inspiratory reserve volume is the inspiratory capacity. So the inspiratory capacity is the inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. So is the maximum volume of the air that can be inhaled after the resting state. So this is the maximum inhalation after resting state which you can do. And what is total lung capacity? You know that the total lung capacity is the maximum volume of air the lungs can accommodate, or the sum of all the volume compartments, or the volume of the air in the lungs after the maximum inspiration. So after the maximum inspiration, all the volume of the lungs is also being known as the total lung capacity. So total lung capacity is the sum up of tidal volume, residual volume, expiratory reserve volume, and the inspiratory reserve volume. And what is the vital capacity? Vital capacity is the total amount of the air exhaled after the maximum inhalation. So this is the maximum inhalation. After the maximum inhalation, this is the maximum exhalation. So from this point to this point, you know that these are the three lung volume, and when you combine these three lung volume, you will get the vital capacity. So the vital capacity is the tidal volume plus the inspiratory reserve volume and expiratory reserve volume. Why you are calling it vital? Because all these three volumes are being vital for you. They are being utilized by you during the breathing. And the last is the functional residual capacity, which is also being denoted by FRC. It is the amount of the air remaining in the lungs at the end of the normal exhalation. So at this point, this is the normal exhalation. At that point, the normal exhalation ends, and below these two volumes, below these two volumes are the expiratory reserve volume and the residual volume. So the sum up of the expiratory reserve volume and the residual volume is the functional residual capacity. So the functional residual capacity is the residual volume plus expiratory reserve volume addition. So the lung volumes can be measured by using the spirometry, body plethysmography, nitrogen washout, and the helium dilution. So in this video we are not going to talk about the body plethysmography, nitrogen washout, and the helium dilution, but we'll only focus on the spirometry. And we have different types of spirometry, And in this experiment, the spirometry which we will use is the incentive spirometry. So spirometry is one of the pulmonary function tests which is used to find the condition of the lung, the physical condition of the lung, and the spirometry helps to diagnose, helps to monitor the response of the treatment, and can guide the decisions regarding the further treatment and interventions. And spirometry can measure all the lung volumes, but you cannot measure the residual volume, because the residual volumes do not go out from your lungs, it remains in the lungs. So the spirometry cannot be used to find the residual volume. So the residual volume can be find out indirectly, but you cannot find the residual volume directly by any instrument.